After being bumped from SummerSlam, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus finally had their big showdown on this week's edition of Raw, but Zoe Stark was banned from ringside this time. We also saw Shinsuke Nakamura just his attack on Rollins from last week's show, as well as the build-up to the upcoming paperback pay-per-view on September 2nd. So yeah, let's get straight into this week's edition of Raw out of 10, which starts things off with Sami Zayn versus JD McDonald, and after the announcers welcome us to show, the Judgment Day came out to kick things off. However, Finn Balor was not with the group. Damian Priest questioned where he is, but JD McDonald came out and said he tried to give them a message from his fellow Irishman, but Rhea Ripley said he didn't take orders from anyone who isn't in the faction. Sami Zayn came out and started fighting with McDonald in the IOY. The Judgment Day made no effort to help him, but was able to get the upper hand by attacking Zayn an injured elbow. When we returned for break, the match officially began. Zayn was right after the man who injured him, but still favouring his elbow. Zayn did a great job seeing his injury and was continuing to find ways to take McDonald down, and the Irish Ace kept finding ways to attack him in return. The match was given 2 segments. They had more than enough time to tell their story. Both men looked good and escaped to the physical battle to indicate the show. Balor pretends he was going to attack Zayn's destruction, but Zayn kicked out the roll-up. Zayn kicked Balor out of the apron before hitting the Hoover kick for the win. And yeah, let's get a 7 out of 10 for me. Tying into 2 stories, like I say, Zayn gets a big win, and yeah, also continuing the tension as well with the Judgment Day. Will JD join as well? I think that's an intriguing question. I'm not sure if it needs him, but yeah, definitely an intriguing storyline that played into it here nicely. So yeah, get 7 out of 10 for me. This was good stuff. It was then time for 2 matches with kind of the same beat. Chad Gable v Vinci and Gunther v Otis. Gunther came out with Vinci and Kaiser, talking about being 25 days away from breaking the record for the longest IC champion. Alpha Academy then arrived to trade some insults to hype up Gable's IC title back against Gunther. Kaiser had a long exchange with Dupree, then ended with her slapping across the face before he got the match. Vinci had a size advantage over Gable, which he used to take control early on, but the Olympian used his superior grappling abilities to counter and take him down with ease. Both men are incredibly gifted athletes, and wrestlers had no trouble working together despite limited time in the ring together. Before this, most of their encounters were 6-man bouts at house shows, so this was the first singles contest. And after a great technical exchange, Gable secured the win with his rolling German suplex. As soon as the match was over, Gunther challenged Otis to actually he'd get his revenge. Otis got the crowd to cheer with some of his dance moves before he and the ring general looked up. They fought for control and started trading shots. The 2 powerhouses tried to hit each other as hard as possible, and it made it very entertaining counter. Even though Otis was still doing some of his comedy stuff, he was being taken seriously as a competitor and portrayed the threat, which was great to see. As expected, Gunther got the win, but the fact that he had to do so to powerbomb Otis was also impressive. Gunther hit the ring general with a German suplex to send him out of the ring after the match was over. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 for me. I'm kind of liking what they're doing with this feud. I have to say, I thought it would be an easy one for Gunther, but I think they're building him up more and more. Gable, that is, as it progresses. So yeah, this was good stuff. Matt Riddle then took on Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders. Riddle was shown interrupting a backstage interview to ask McIntyre to be his tag partner against the Viking Raiders. Scott did not seem excited at the prospect, but promised to consider it. Riddle looked almost surprised when McIntyre showed up to be his partner, but as soon as the bell rang, Eric and Ivar took control of the original bro. He was able to fight his way out of the corner, but instead of making a tag, he tried to take on the Viking by himself, which ended poorly for him as the show went to a break. We then returned to see Eric and Ivar still dominating. When McIntyre finally got the hot tag, he went on a rampage. This was pretty much a standard tag team match, nothing too much to write home about, but the fans seemed to enjoy it. It definitely had people invested. McIntyre hitting Eric with a Claymore to pick up the win. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10 for me. Solid win for McIntyre and Riddle, I have to say. And yeah, kind of their stuff as a tag team is intriguing me more and more, and intriguing to see where they go in future weeks. It's time for Indy Hartwell v Rhea Ripley. Indy got a video package treatment before she got an title match against Ripley. Candice and Dominic were both at ringside, but the Eradicators didn't need any help to dominate her opponent, other than a short burst of offense from Hartwell. This was about as one-sided affair as it would get, with Ripley getting away with the Riptide. Lorraine and Hartwell attacked Ripley, and they left the champion down in the ring. This wasn't match of a match, but it appeared to set up a possible title feud between Ripley and Lorraine, so we'll have to see where that all goes. But yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 for me. Good win for Ripley, of course, but I don't really know what they're doing with Hartwell at the moment. It's a bit disappointing. I thought maybe she'd get more of a rub, especially as she left NXT as a champ. So yeah, a bit disappointed there, but we'll have to see where it all goes, I suppose. Before it's time for Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a match. Before that, Nakamura gave an interview to Michael Cole to explain why he attacked Rollins. The Visionary came out and ended up granting a title match and no argument. The segment ended with Nakamura laying the World Heavyweight Champion down with a Kinshasa again. The next match saw Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus get the one-on-one match they should have had at SummerSlam as WWE not decided to cut it. The first couple of matches felt like a genuine struggle for both women to control. Stratus kept using dirty tricks to take down the man, but whenever she gave an opportunity, Lynch would capitalise on it. Stratus was doing a lot of showbaiting whenever she had the upper hand, but Lynch was all business. After the veteran revealed that her face was fine, she discarded the mask. Even though she was still in great shape, nobody expects Stratus to have the same kind of match as she did when she was full-time. She and Lynch did a good job, but the bout had some stopping moments. The match ends in a double count-out when they were fighting in the crowd and tried to get get back in the ring. They fought up the stairs and into the concourse area. They fought up for a long time until Stark appeared to lend Justin's hand. This ended to the crowd a bit, and a few should have ended here, but it's dragging out even longer, so it's going to be difficult. And yeah, I'm just not sure where we're going with this feud at the moment. Kind of felt like it should have been at SummerSlam, really. Calibre of these two, hopefully Payback's where it's all blown off. I don't know, it just kind of feels like a blown off course a bit, and maybe not where it should be at the moment. So yeah, unfortunately, it gets 5 out of 10 from me. It was then time for our main event, Cody Rhodes against Finn Balor. And yeah, these two have met before, but this was more personal than our last encounter. They started off like most normal bouts, and they were locking up, rubbing rates, and wearing each other down with hugs. They didn't try to make this brawl, which is kind of how it seemed like it would go leading into it. Dom and Ripley showed up to provide distractions as the show went off to a break. Priest arrived at the break and tried to help, but Rhodes ended up taking him out, and Balor at the same time with a suicide dive. The ref caught Dom trying to pass the chair into the Irishman. When Priest tried to slide in with a briefcase, Rhodes caught it and got used to the win. This is a solid main event, but all of the stuff for the Judgment Day just kind of feels a bit repetitive at the moment. Zayn was showing up as a nice end for the Winnipeg crowd, but the crowd probably regretted the decision after Judgment Day beating down and putting through a table. But yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 for me. The Judgment Day get to win. Babyface is still there. Yeah, solid main event. Kind of seen it before, but I'll give it more time to progress. 7 out of 10. But overall this week, Raw gets 6 out of 10 for me. I thought it was a solid episode of Raw. Some questionable booking decisions there, maybe, I suppose. But Payback a few weeks away. We're building up nicely to it, but I just feel like maybe some of the storylines aren't firing on all cylinders at the moment. But still a few weeks to create those slight problems. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for subscribing. Subscribe for daily wrestling news and channels. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.